Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from WhatCulture.
And I'm very sad to report that there is no Gangrel video today.
But don't forget, if you want to download the news as a podcast while you're out and about, you can do so by searching for WhatCulture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from. But coming up today, we have new Raw Tag Team Champions.
3 new matches have been confirmed for Elimination Chamber.
Some worrying news about Asuka ahead of Elimination Chamber.
The real reason the Revival haven't been on TV lately.
An injury to Kenny Omega.
And all kinds of stuff about Matt Hardy.
This is the news.
But we're going to kick things off by talking about the ending to last night's Raw.
God damn, that was good.
Beth the chef. She was on the show. She was there to deliver an injury update on the status of her husband Edge, and it all went to pot, didn't it?
Yeah, I should caveat that. It wasn't good.
Yeah, of course. It was a great segment, but
Yes.
what happened to Beth, obviously, is not something we endorse.
No.
Either way. This was, I think, one of the better segments of this Raw era. Maybe one of the better Raw segments ever.
Was this the best Raw segment ever?
I mean, it was just so goddamn effective. It was a proper heartstring tugger. Edge and Beth, there's all kinds of stuff flying around. Randy says, I'm holding you responsible for this because you enabled Edge's return. I'm the one who's worried about him ending up in a wheelchair. I care more about him and his kids than you do. Beth was reduced to tears. It really was tremendous acting and a tremendous performance from both of them. Beth goes to slap Randy Orton. Bad idea. Boom. RKO. Surrounded by people helping her up and stuff. Randy Orton looks like the ultimate bastard. The worst man alive. Exactly what you wanted from this segment. Exactly, I think, we expected something good, right? The storyline so far has been really, really good. Orton has been in the form of his goddamn life. He hasn't been this compelling in a long time, but I don't think anyone expected this 11 out of 10 segment, really. The quality of it.
Byron Saxton, am I allowed to... No, I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say what he said. He
did
called Randy Orton a son of a bitch.
He did, yeah.
Byron Saxton's cool now, apparently. Look, I just adored this segment.
Really?
Obviously, putting aside the fact that what he did was heinous, terrible, etc., and also putting aside the fact that the crowd were chanting for the RKO for about 20 minutes. You're not supposed to want it, guys, but anyway.
Yeah, that's a bit...
Look, the way it was all put together was magnificent. Beth Phoenix comes out, she's so emotional. Randy Orton comes out, and as you mentioned there, talks about the fact that he took Edge out to protect him because suddenly Edge thought after appearing in the Royal Rumble, he could just go back to being a full-time performer. Randy Orton, and this is always good when a story has this, is a heel who is justified in his own mind. He thinks his actions are the right thing. She slaps him, he mouths what Byron Saxton calls him to her. She kicks him in the gut and he immediately RKOs her. The shock that was sold perfectly by the announcers, the amount of people, all the little, the edge heads were there, Natalya was there. It's a brilliant story, and there is definitely an argument to be made that this match could main event WrestleMania.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the hottest thing heading into WrestleMania. It's the best built match. The segment was tremendous. I was legitimately raging about this. Watching it, I was worked just like everyone in that arena before they started chanting RKO and stuff. But yeah, it was tremendous stuff. A really effective segment. A shocking visual as well because WWE don't do a lot of this kind of stuff. And it works. It always works when they do.
Monday Night Raw was really divisive though, because I loved last night's show.
There was some stuff
there was
on it.
some bollocks in there. Riddick Moss beating Ricochet. Clean as a sheet was pretty insane, although I'm not sure how Ricochet winning the 24/7 championship would be like, well, guess that's him back to normal.
He's fixed,
then.
yeah.
The spider thing, we'll get to that. Even Simon Miller was disappointed with that. But I thought the opening segment was chef's kiss,
really
perfect. Good. I thought the tag match with all the Mexican lads was great. The main event was fantastic. And we have new Raw Tag Team Champions.
Hey.
We want the smoke. We want the smoke.
I am definitely the Dawkins to your Ford in this relationship.
I'm going to shake some ropes. Yes, the Street Profits are new Raw Tag Team Champions after defeating Seth Rollins and whatever they're calling Murphy nowadays.
Murph the Smurf, I think.
Yeah, that was great. On last night's show, as you would expect, a load of shenanigans to go along with this. Akam and Razor were stood on the ramp. They came down to get involved. They were kicked out. In all the melee of them arguing about getting kicked out and protesting talking and distracting the referee. Down comes Kevin Owens, hits a stunner. That allows Montez Ford to nail a frog splash and score the 1-2-3. The Street Profits, after having this now or never, I mean, it was literally their second shot at the titles, but okay.
Yeah.
Now or never Raw Tag Team Championship match. They are the new Raw Tag Team Champions, and they will defend those belts at Elimination Chamber, along with a couple of other matches. Look at this.
Oh, what a segue. What a segue. So yes, that is indeed the first match to confirm for Elimination Chamber. It was announced last night. Seth the Chef and Murph the Smurf are getting their rematch. They're going to face, but they're not going to face themselves, you moron. They're going to face the Street Profits in the third match in like a week and a half at the Elimination Chamber. We've also got a United States title match between Andrade putting it on the line against Humberto Carrillo. They had a wonderful tag match last night, of course. And we've got no DQ match between Aleister Black and AJ Styles. That's really quite mental and could be an absolute ripper. So
we're going to get the Undertaker's dong.
I think we are going to see his dong.
It's a dong, not a gong. Don't fight me on it. What did you make of the title change, though?
The title change is an interesting one because, you know, when you do this rematch like 3 or 4 days later, you can kind of see the writing on the wall, right? But I thought it was very well executed on the night. I thought the match was tremendous. I thought it was really well laid out. Lots of interferences and chaos and stuff, but it really worked. It was a good example of those tropes working well and actually benefiting the match. It came off a lot stronger because of it, and it served a lot of masters. AOP were involved, Kevin Owens, Seth the Chef's angry. Not only has he got another match with the Street Profits, he's got a reason to want to kill Kevin Owens now too. Again, it's like a triple win.
I don't want to be Arn Anderson with the playbook here, but one thing I would suggest ahead of Elimination Chamber, Montez Ford, stop doing that silly dive over the top rope. You've done it twice now, both times. Seth and Buddy have caught you and just lobbed you into the barricade. No more of that.
Yeah,
They've got that one spotted.
I'm with you. Yeah, work that out.
Don't do any more of that.
Are there any horsemen left for them to recruit as an advisor?
Sure.
Tully's gone, Arn's gone, Ric Flair's not going to be on TV.
Bojack?
Paul Roma, what's he up to?
Right, let's move on and talk about Asuka. Of course, she was scheduled to be in action last night against Shayna Baszler, and I don't want to say this, don't sound inappropriate here, but I'm kind of glad she was injured. She is legitimately injured, and therefore that is why the match was suddenly switched around to be Kairi Sane versus Shayna Baszler. How do you get to "this is boring" chant in a Shayna Baszler match? Well done for that, WWE. That's almost impressive. Andy Murray, you are doing a new list on the website right now, aren't you, based on last night's Raw?
Yes, I'm doing X reasons why last night's Raw was an absolute mess, because that show veered from a 9 out of 10 quality segment to a 2 out of 10 quality segment every single time.
Yeah.
It was a weird one.
But anyway, Asuka is legitimately injured, and her spot at Elimination Chamber is possibly under threat. This is per the Wrestling Observer. She appeared in a couple of backstage segments, of course. She cut that. I just love her and Kairi cutting promos. But it's an issue with her wrist. She should be okay to go by Elimination Chamber this Sunday, though. God, it's this Sunday.
I know, it's crazy, right? The 2020 wrestling calendar is absurd. You kind of need her. You kind of need her to be kind of ready for that match, though, don't you? Because otherwise, I mean, they could replace her with Kairi. I guess that's a straight up swap, and the match quality wouldn't suffer too much. But like, Asuka's awesome, and she's like the biggest attraction in that match, apart from Shayna, of course.
And a good build, I thought, as well, with the Riot Squad all just feuding together now.
Yeah, like they're building to this thing well. I mean, a lot of us looked at the lineup and went, the Riots, Natalia.
Yeah.
But it's coming around quite well.
It's great. You've got, like you say, if Asuka's there, you've got Asuka, you've got Shayna Baszler, you've got all the Riot Squad fighting, and you've got Natalia.
Yes. Anyway, shall we do the speed round gimmick?
Oh yeah.
Our last 3 stories here. Do we have a jingle for that?
I'll do it. Speed round.
There we go. So the Revival. They've been off TV lately. They haven't wrestled on TV since something like the first week of February. They haven't wrestled. The last week of January was the last match on TV. There's a good reason for this. There's a good reason for them vanishing. According to Dave Meltzer on Wrestling Observer Radio, it's because they haven't signed new contracts. You could have probably figured that out yourself, but there's the confirmation from the big swole man in his little journalism room. They haven't signed new deals. They're not sticking around with the company. They'll probably be out in the next few months. We may have seen the last of Dash and Dawson.
Probably best for everyone.
Absolutely.
Kenny Omega has picked up an injury subsequent to his match at AEW Revolution. This is according to a new report from Fightful. He was all banged up after that best tag team match ever. I thought so, against the Young Bucks. His hand might be broken. No official confirmation on this, though. You would have thought that the Sugar Man would have mentioned this afterwards. Tony Khan. But he isn't currently expected to miss any TV time as things stand.
Exactly. That's good news because that match was awesome. And speaking of things that are awesome, maybe, Matt Hardy. We've got a report today from Ryan Satin stating that WWE's door is still open to Matt Hardy after his departure the other day, mainly because they're still interested in putting the Broken Universe in NXT. However, Matt Hardy was also very heavily teased on this week's Being the Elite. The Young Bucks got a phone call from someone who is very heavily hinted to be Mr. Matthew Hardy. So,
Or the Revival, area codes and all that.
there we go, baby. Also, WWE issued their official future endeavors update, the standard one for Hardy yesterday. So, a lot going on with him at the moment. He might show up on Dynamite. Who knows? Who knows?
Matt Hardy leaving WWE's a work.
Here we go.
Don't get worked. Come on. When have I ever been wrong? Congratulations, new AEW World Champion, Jon Moxley. Moving on to your Twitter questions now at WhatCulture WWE. We start with a question from Matt Ryan, legend, who says, with the reveal of what was in Rowan's cage being underwhelming, what was that again, Andy Murray?
It was a spider, a fake spider.
Good to see No Way Jose on Raw, though, eh?
Yeah.
Are there any other reveals that were as ultimately underwhelming?
No, because it was a fake spider.
To be fair, people who are moaning about this, it's a spider. What was going to be good? What would it have been that would have been actually good?
A boglin. Shout out to Jim Sterling. I mean, the obvious one to go for, right, is the gobbledygooker. But I'm not going to go for the gobbledygooker. I'm going to go for a few years ago when Enzo Amore was the Cruiserweight Champion on Raw. And they were like, hey, Enzo Amore, you're a bad man. You're ruining this division, but we got this guy. Kurt Angle did this. He's a total badass. He's going to take that belt from you, man. Be scared. Here he comes. Here comes the ultimate Cruiserweight badass of all time, Kalisto. They did this at the end of an episode of Raw. It was supposed to get this massive pop. This guy's coming down to kill Enzo Amore. It's Kalisto, and everyone just goes. It was terrible, really bad.
I feel like there's a podcast for me and the Daddy was to do on worst reveals in wrestling after that bloody spider gimmick.
I'm with you.
I mean, Vince obviously is the higher power.
Yeah.
But it was just. I mean, it wasn't underwhelming. It was just bollocks.
Yeah.
Second question today comes from Jake. On Twitter, who says, since Goldberg is already getting booed by fans, should WWE lean into it and make him a full-on heel so we can have a heel versus face Mania match between him and Rowan?
Yeah, I think that's probably the best idea, right? Because there's a lot of resentment for Goldberg at the moment after what happened in Super Showdown. It's not necessarily his fault. He was just booked that way, man. But yeah,
no, he shot on Macaulay Culkin. That's not cool.
Oh yeah, what do you say? Good news, dork, or something like that?
No, duly noted, dork.
Yeah, there you go.
Corkin's interfering in that match at Mania. Oh my God, make it a Home Alone match.
Kevin McAllister is going to do some stuff.
Can you imagine? If Roman started the match off by going, we're getting a shotgun and going, don't get scared now. I'd be into it.
As long as it's not Home Alone 3, that was crap.
Yes, but yeah, I think that's probably for the best to lean into it, because as much as they tried the whole, I'm not a part-timer and he's a part-timer shtick, fans are pissed off, so lean into it.
Yeah, exactly.
Final question today comes from your friendly neighborhood superhero, who asks, do you think somehow Black joins the match of Undertaker versus AJ, or overtakes and removes AJ from the match? And Ricochet joins the alliance of Seth Rollins after losing back-to-back matches.
Oh man, yeah, the Ricochet angle is something I hadn't thought of, but yeah, it's definitely something they could do. It's very Dark Order, that, isn't it? Hey, you're a loser, let me take you in. Yeah, I could see that happening. I don't know about Black and the Undertaker and AJ. They've booked themselves into an interesting situation here, because ideally, right, you'd want Aleister Black to beat AJ Styles and have this kind of crowning moment, but he can't really do that unless, like you predicted, the Undertaker interferes at Elimination Chamber, which I could definitely see happening. I think the likelier scenario for Black is if they're not going to do the four-way United States title match between the chaps who were in the tag match last night, like you talked about before we came on the air, maybe something to do with the mid-card belt.
I sense probably AJ Styles is going to be setting up for the phenomenal forearm. Dong jumps in, gets chokeslam because it's an ODQ match or a tombstone or whatever, and then Aleister Black gets the win, but probably isn't involved in that match. And yeah, I do quite like Ricochet joining Seth Rollins' gaggle of bastards.
Yeah.
Although, by the rules, he now has to become Shay. Okay, let's move on to today's and finally. And there's a quick mention for Darby Allin, who is one of the hottest things in All Elite Wrestling right now, and it's understandable.
Yes.
He is insane, the stuff he can pull off, and his body just goes through the ringer every single match, and he likes to do it in his spare time. Have you seen the video, Andy Murray?
I've seen the video, but let's see it again, man. Look at this.
Of Darby Allin atop a big crane of some sort or whatever. His finishing move is, of course, the coffin drop. Normally, that's off the top rope. Normally, that is sufficient enough. Here he is, though, nearly at the sun, for God's sake. Falling up this, away he goes. 3, 2, 1. Hey! Disappears.
I know it's into
And
like...
that's the last we ever saw of Darby Allin, of course.
Rest in peace, Darby Allin. I know it's into like a massive pile of soft things, but my goodness me, he's standing there for like 10 seconds, and then he goes, "Yeah, I'll do it." What a man. He's a lunatic. I love him.
Yeah.
I love him and Sammy. They're both crazy.
Yeah, they're going to both be world champion one day.
It's going to be a world title feud in 3 years, man. It's going to be mint.
Good stuff. Let us know your thoughts on that and all of today's news stories in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And subscribe to What Culture Wrestling on either iTunes, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts from for daily wrestling podcasts. I can already tell me and the Dudley boys are going to have a row on the Monday Night Raw review a little bit later on.
Can't miss audio, that, isn't it?
Plus, you can let us know your thoughts and Twitter questions on Twitter at WhatCultureWWE. And watch there, follow both of us. You can follow him
at Andy H. Murray. The H stands for holistic.
Ooh.
Dictionary stuff.
You can follow me at Adam Wilborn. Follow us all at WhatCultureWWE. But for now, my thanks to Andy Murray. Thank you for watching. We want the smoke, and we will see you soon.
It's a fez.
Hi guys, I'm Adam Wilborn from What Culture, here to let you know we want your live event videos, whether that be something that happened after the cameras stopped rolling, or your reaction to something amazing that went down at the show you were at. Stuff like this.
One of the other sweetest things I've ever seen was just recently when we saw Roman Reigns kick the shit out of cancer and come back on Monday Night Raw.
So make sure you send them to us in all the usual ways. You can tweet them at us, you can send them to us on Facebook, you can email them to us. Hell, if it's your sort of thing, you can stick them on a memory stick and post them to What Culture. But the one thing you need to remember is good, bad. Thanks for watching. Bye.